Good, isn't it? Paul and Mike, the PM show. Tomas pressing the buttons. Courtney Cadera, our executive producer. I'm a little bit in a bunched up mood here to start the show off today because, you know, maybe this has happened to you. You ever order something from like television or whatever, or you do some kind of mail order thing, and it's automated now, which even makes you even more incensed. Before they let you off the phone, they say, oh, by the way, you've been selected to get 3 free magazine publications. You've had that, right? And they cost you $10 or $12. And so I stay away from that. I don't even go there. I just hang the phone up, slam it down, and I don't even want to go through that because it takes a long time. But I did fall for a couple of mail order items that came in on the mail saying you can get Cooking Magazine for $10 for the year. And I went, there must be some mistake here. $10 for the year. The cover price is like, I'm looking at it here and, you know, looking through the pages here, seeing what's there, and I'm thinking, this is around a $4 or $5 magazine. It's $10. That's pretty good. And Travel and Leisure magazine, you know, $10.
Very good magazine.
And so I decided, you know, in a fit of weakness, it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm paying my bills, and it stacked up, and I thought, let me think about this for a while, and I put it in the think about stack. You all have that, don't you? The one that just sits on the desk that goes real high. And so I'm looking at that think about stack, and I thought, okay, Travel and Leisure, there's probably some stories I can use on the What's Cooking show. I'm thinking the Cooking Magazine, Popular Science, my guy. So I think I ordered about 2 or 3. I have been deluged with a bunch of mail from every crappy magazine. I've got my trash can is full in my office. It is actually to the brim with all these dumb magazines that want me for, special discount for Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. This is like Vanity Fair, the big liberal magazine that people like to read and look at. It's normally like $54 and $100. It's mine for $10. And I just watered it up and threw it in the trash can because they keep sending me all these things for every stupid magazine. Smithsonian Institute, you know, National Geographic when I was a kid was like a very special gift that a friend of the family sent to us. It was like, oh, these are special magazines. They're still sitting in my dad's old garage. I'm sure they're stacked. I could probably sell them, you know, to Drake Jasso for big dollars because I'm sure I have complete sets of National Geographic magazines.
Nobody knows who Drake Jasso is.
He sells old magazines. I'm sorry. Thank you for
company called Pastimes.
It's on the Queen Mary sells them. And you can buy them from the day you were born and everything. And I've got these, and, you know, my great dad Bunky has long since passed away, but his collection of magazine lives on, unless my brother went through them and, you know how brothers are, don't you, when it comes to like breaking up things and settling stuff. I don't need to tell you twice. So anyway, this whole thing, I have these magazines that keep coming up. Please, if you are a magazine publisher, stop sending me this stuff. You got to drive me over the edge, as you can tell from the show already today.
Yeah, somehow, before my father passed away, my 89-year-old father had apparently got a subscription to 17 magazines. That I still bring into the office and I put there at the front in the lobby so then somebody might enjoy it.
Well, maybe you like that song by Janice Ian at 17, you know? It's kind of good. Do you ever read it at 17? There might be some good articles. Maybe I could get that one for $10. Let me take a look and see. Here's one for at 17.
Another big one is called Allure. Have you ever gotten Allure magazine?
They want me to subscribe to that as well.
They'd love to send out a subscription to that.
The New York Times now, because I get like 4 newspapers now, they want me to get the New York Times. I can't handle it anymore. I just don't have any more time. I'm going to start just maybe watching The Tonight Show for current events. I think that'll be what I'll do from now on.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com.
I'm a state-of-the-art 60-inch flat-screen TV. And I mean, not to brag or anything, but if a burglar ever breaks into this place, I'm pretty certain I'm the first thing he's going to steal. I mean, it's not like he's going to take that recliner over there. Or that coffee table.
Your stuff can't protect itself. That's why the Geico Insurance Agency helps make it easy to switch and save on renter's insurance. Renter's insurance will cover personal property loss or damage as well as provide liability protection. Visit geico.com today.
That's a good question, and one for the PM show. Welcome back here to the broadcast. We'll get to the news of the day, but taking care of personal business. I just got a request for Bodie Stroud magazine. It's obviously some new hot rodding magazine. I didn't even know it was out there. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern, the PM show on CRN.
And it's not Bodie Stroud magazine, it's BS Industries.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
BS Industries. There's one over here called Transistors Today, the Tomas magazine. Apparently Tomas is publishing a magazine about transistors. Tomas usually catches up to technology after a little bit of time. Now, you had a problem that was bothering you a little bit at the Stern estate.
Yeah,
right?
it's one of those yearly expenses, or every other year, something of the sort.
More expenses. You
know, you get those kind of harassing, I hate to say, letters in the mail from the local fire department telling you about brush clearance.
Oh, you got to, if you live in Southern California, especially where there's been a drought going on for the last 4 or 5 years, they want you to clean that brush away from the property line. But you're not close to any hillsides, are you, that are brushy, are you?
Well, yeah, I got a unique situation because I am up on a hillside where apparently a few years back there were a bunch of how do I say this? I don't know.
Muslim terrorists?
No, they were.
I'm sorry, I just threw that out there today.
No, Mexican.
Ted Cruz wanted me to mention that when he announced himself.
No, they were some Hispanic day laborers.
Oh, okay. So you had some people that came to the neighborhood there trying to make a buck or two,
and they were cooking tacos up on the hill.
No. And they caught the hillside on fire?
And they caught the hillside on fire.
What is it? Why are some of these day laborers, why do they have to have, cooked food? And besides, if you wanted to cook your food, don't you do it in the kitchen or the back of your truck or something? Why would you take it out into the countryside and light up a fire where there's grass and things that could burn? It just doesn't make total sense. Now, maybe there's a language barrier there, far be it from me. Maybe they thought the guy said, go light the hill on fire when he actually said, make me a taco. I don't know. But, so there was a problem in the neighborhood. I hope a lot of damage.
Well, no, I was talking with my neighbor, Mikel.
Oh, so you're talking to him again, huh?
No, this is a different neighbor.
Is this the guy you gave the Fisher stereo to? This one with the vacuum tubes in it?
That neighbor.
That high-end stereo amp that you thought was a piece of junk?
That neighbor passed away about 10 years ago.
Of course he did. He probably had a heart attack as he saw the value he got on this very expensive high-end Fisher amplifier. Harman Kardon, as I believe, right?
Yeah,
this is probably worth at least $5,000, if not $9,500.
I really don't.
Am I right, Tomas? These things are very, very special. You gave it away to this guy, and he panicked on the spot and had a heart attack. I'm sorry to hear about that.
That was Mel. That was neighbor Mel.
He had the diner. I remember that. With Dingy. Dingy used to work at his diner in Alice.
No, that's a different Mel. But
I'm sorry.
In any event, the neighbor to my left, Mikel.
The guy on the left, that's the liberal neighbor. Okay.
I was talking to him about perhaps maybe discontinuing my fire insurance.
No, you don't want to do that. You can't do that.
And
Are you crazy?
Well, I said that I've lived in this house for 25 years. We've never had a fire.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you this is this is the bad omen. And as soon as you do that, they start not only making tacos, they burn some enchiladas and really set the whole place on fire. You don't want to do that.
That's when Mikel told me about the situation with the day laborers lighting up the
You want to be insured.
Some tacos that they were preparing on the hillside there, rather than, I guess, go out and get something to eat from a local restaurant or something like that. But in any event, I had to get on into the issue of brush clearance.
Fred Dreyer's up in your area, and he smokes cigars. You want to have fire insurance. You never can tell when he comes over and throws an ash, sets his ash down. Because, Fred, he'll set his ash down anywhere he can, so you got to be careful.
I wondered if Fred has fire insurance.
I'm sure he does.
You think he does?
Yeah, he's also got those old TV sets of his. He's got those CRT Sony Trinitron. They were new and exciting back in 1956, and Fred still watches his Sony Trinitron. He got rid of a projection set that was a little blurry. You couldn't really converge the green, the blue, and the red together to make it really a nice picture. But you can kind of get the gist of the show when you were looking at it to see what was going on. You saw football game, you saw items of movement, and in case you lose and you have some poor vision later on, it kind of trains you for it by watching that TV set. Anyway, I digress. So what happened?
But I'm contemplating the thought of having not the brush cleared, but the trees trimmed. I got a lot of trees in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And they drop the leaves. They drop the leaves all over the place.
Pollen time this year, too, man. People sneezing.
And I'm really getting sick and tired of it. But then I asked for...
But they're nice and shady at your house. You don't want to chop them down.
Well, I don't want them chopped down, but I want them trimmed back considerably. And so I asked the guy to give me an estimate.
To trim the trees.
Salvador.
Is he your regular...
He's my regular garden...
I have Omar.
Actually, I don't have Salvador. I have Salvador's dad, Jose. But
and does Jose speak English?
I've never actually talked to Jose.
So how do you communicate with him?
Well,
I just point and go, cut him, tree him.
No, he comes to the house at a time when I'm not there.
But how do you communicate what you want done?
He leaves the bill in the mailbox.
That's the communication?
That's the communication.
So how did you tell him you wanted these trees trimmed?
Well, I called up his son, Salvador.
Yeah.
Because Salvador was working on the neighbor's property, Mikhail.
Yeah. So obviously they got that whole area sewn right up. It's kind of you gotta be careful. Some of these, you guys get into a neighborhood and they kind of take it over and they have all the houses. That's how it works, when you're a gardener. You sort of come in and worm into one or two, and next thing you know, your yard looks pretty good, Horn. Who does it? And you say, Omar, and next thing you know, Omar's fixing the next guy.
Salvador. But in any event,
in this case, Salvador in your neighborhood.
I got a price quote for the
so Salvador gave you a quote to trim the trees.
Over $1,000.
Yeah, it does get pricey. I've had that done before, and my trees, I leave the Christmas lights in the tree because they're all white. So if I have like a party or something, I say just come to the house with the lights on. So it looks kind of like one of those fabulous restaurants where you can dine under the nicely lit stuff. They're not the colored Christmas trees. And so invariably I'll fix them because they go dead. And then right about that time, Omar says, you want the trees trimmed? And I go, yes. I go, but be careful when you step up in there because I don't want you to break any lights. And he's pretty good at that. And he goes up in there and gets way up high and trims them. I told him not even to bother with the palm tree because he just climbs up there and I think it's too dangerous to go up there.
Well, I was going to say, Mike.
Unless he's going to pick coconuts and get them down to me, then go ahead, get up there. I need them.
Now, I know the people that are watching the program on Tiki Live. From the CRN Digital Talk website. As you go on into the
Studio Cam is what you click there on the upper left.
Chat room, Studio Cam.
So anyway, so what happened? So it's $1,000. You're going to do it?
Well, the question is, Mike, and I don't.
Boil it down to the question.
I'll boil it down to the question, Mike. When was the last time that you actually went up in the tree with a saw and actually kind of trimmed the branches?
I do it on occasion. I actually like power tools, as you know from listening to this show. I've got the weed blower that I can annoy my neighbors with, and I'm thinking, I've been looking in the Heartland catalog, and they got a closeout on this item, which is a real long pole, and it's either gas or I think electric with some kind of a saw. So you could, then I'm kind of like my dad. Once I start trimming, I can't stop. I can't help myself. You want me to actually come and do the trimming because your trees will be down to the nuts.
You like to get out in the backyard and just do things.
I like to go there and I have to trim things down a little bit. Just be careful. If it's wood, I'll saw it.
Do you have those spikes on your shoes?
No. I stay safely on the ground. I tried it. Back in my younger days when I was about 300 pounds lighter, I would try to climb up in the tree. And I would kind of get stuck. My foot would get into an angle or something. So that's why I like the extension poles. Because you just build up your muscles, you hold them out there, and you kind of get it,
Or do you just pay the $1,000 and just be done with it?
Which I've done many times myself now. It's actually easier. Yeah, it's good. And sometimes Omar will just do it, then present with a bill, and what can you argue about? It looks pretty good.
I have an uncle who's departed, but he actually lost an eye trying to trim.
Oh, you got to be careful. You do have to be careful.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. plus so much more. A chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse. Much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
Welcome back here to the PM Show. I'm Michael Horn with Paul Stern. Courtney Cadera, our producer. Tomas Press from the buttons. Check us out on the web at crntalk.com. When you go to crntalk.com, you can click the studio cam and look inside the studio and see what's going on in here. Now, we're talking about doing some trimming around the yard, and you have to do that if you live in an area where there might be some fire and clearance and that kind of thing. And so you want to get the proper tools. I mean, I learned as a young kid, I used to do yard work around my parents' family. It was a bigger yard. And I remember my dad would always say, when you want to, and Louis, the next door neighbor, Louis, would be there. He was a fine Mexican gentleman with his family. I used to hang out with the family all the time. He says, you want to do like your father says. You want to get in the tree and clean out all the dead wood. So you'd get inside the orange tree, and you would kind of clean out the dead branches. But it's a lot of work because you got to get in and sort of clean that stuff out. And one of the items that I like to use is the extendable saw. I'm looking for the one that's powered. This one, I'll make this, I'll admit to it. I was, you go into a Costco and you go in to buy one or two things and then you see something you really want. And there in the middle of the Costco springtime section was this extendable up to 16 feet saw with one side of it, and on the other side there was this arm that you came down and you could clip smaller branches or fruit from your tree.
I had one of the same things.
I thought, I don't want to buy this. I'm not going to be able to put this in my car. As soon as I had my truck, I went in there and picked one of those puppies up. And I'm ready to go with this thing to do whatever I have to do. In fact, I have a 2-story house and I'd like to clean the gutters. And so I'm thinking I just bought one of those gutter cleaners. It's only about 4 feet. I'm going to tape it or tie it to this 16-foot deal. And if I can balance it, I'm going to get up there and blow the water into the gutters and clean all the stuff out of the gutters.
I need to clean my gutters too, because apparently the last time that it rained.
And the drainage things on your roof.
Apparently the last time it rained, the gutters were just overflowed.
Yeah, they do. And it's always right by the garage door, isn't it? It always backs up right there. So when you walk out, your head gets loaded with a bunch of dirt that comes off the top. So, you want to use goggles. You want to be safety minded here. You said your uncle lost an eye cutting a tree?
He lost an eye.
You got to be careful.
Something happened.
It's not worth it if you do that.
Or just shell out the $1,000 and give it to Salvador.
I had an alcoholic uncle one time that was offering. He was trying to open up bottles of beer on the side of a bench.
Don't think that you should out.
And
your
he was
uncle
hitting the cap.
He
was hitting Uncle Frank. He used to toss him back, and he would try to hit him when I was a kid. And he was trying to open one of these little. Instead of, they didn't have twist offs back then when I was a kid. He was trying to knock off the container, and he actually broke the top of the bottle. And then my dad was going to throw it away. So, don't, Charlie, don't drink it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I think Uncle Frank drank it later. I really do. You don't want any kind of thing that breaks. You don't want to have glass in your stomach. Anyway, one last story here, and then we'll get beyond this and get into some news of the day. So I come to my parents' house when my dad, who was pretty much a genius in chopping things down, he would just chop things down to a nub and then
do it yourself. He was a do-it-yourselfer.
And I walked into the yard, and it was just one of those times when you look and you think something is not going to be right, because there was a rope tied way up high to this tree. My dad was on the roof with a saw, and on the ground was my little 5'4" mom, and she was going to hold the rope, and as soon as it was going to break, she was to pull on the rope so it wouldn't hit my dad. I just happened to stop by to see him, and I thought, this is not going to look good. I don't think my mom can actually pull on this rope to get it done, Unbeknownst to me, my dad had a backup plan, so I said, I'll help. So he's on there sawing away, and when the thing starts to give, I'm just pulling on this thing as hard as I can, like a fiend. And obviously it wasn't going the way my dad thought, so he took a flying leap off on the roof. Thank goodness the ground was soft, because he landed at his heels went into the ground. My mom and dad would have spats every now and then, but in this case, they bonded quite closely together because he was fine. I think his back hurt him, though, for the rest of his life. Must have been a couple of crushed vertebrae in there. You take a flying leap off the roof. So sometimes it's better. Maybe I've convinced you now to pay the $1,000 and have some other guy fall out of the tree. There's a moral to the story. And thank goodness I can tell this story to help millions of other people around the world listening to the PM show.
For those of you out there that have never been on top.
Thought it's slow motion. I can still see him as I close my eyes. I look like the $6 million man. I couldn't believe it. It was like, he's jumping off the roof. And my mom and I are pulling on this rope. I think the tree is still standing at the house. I don't even think the branch fell off. He just thought it was going to come out there. I'm sorry. I probably monopolized the show up until now. We do have to get back to some news of the day.
Now, have you ever realized how far down it is when you're up on top of the roof?
I'm sure my dad did. As I recall, I think we changed his trousers a couple layers deep. Certainly mine. It was a lineup. There was only one bathroom in the house at the time, so we had to wait our turn. All right, we continue here on the PM show. These are all true stories. You can't make this stuff up here on CRN. Michael Horn, Paul Stern.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a non-profit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? Yeah. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Hi, here's your delivery from Staples.com.
Thanks, Staples guy. Do you have stuff to clean this disaster of a break room?
Sure, Staples has wipes, paper towels, sprays, sponges, all at a low price.
How about these floors?
Disinfecting cleaners, mops, bucket with side press ringers, and yellow wet floor signs.
Anyone know how long it takes to reheat cod?
We also have air fresheners.
I'll take a case of those.
Make on budget happen, make cleaning up happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get Scott 12-pack paper towels for just $7.99.
Offer valid on SKU 300469 in store and online is 328 while supplies last. See store staples.com for details.
Hi, this is Dawn Wells inviting you to read my new book, A Guide to Life. What would Mary Ann do? You don't have to go to Gilligan's Island to get a copy. You can go to my website, dawnwells.com, or bookstores everywhere. And if you're in Southern California, come visit me Wednesday, March 25th at Larry Edmunds Bookshop on Hollywood, 6644 Hollywood Boulevard at 7:30 p.m. Or for more information, go to dawnwells.com.
Welcome back here to the PM show on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn with Paul Stern. Happy belated birthday to my buddy Bill Shatner. Had his birthday yesterday. Today's birthdays, let's see. Marty Allen, the comedian, is 93. Shaka Khan. Okay, Tomas, here's your chance. You're Mr. Music. Shaka Khan. How old is Shaka Khan?
I would say she is 63.
Close, 62. Who else is having a birthday today? Actress Kerry Russell is 39. She's in that series over there. They copied that series on NBC that they had Allegiance, and it's the same as it's called The Americans, and it's like, Russian spies in the United States. Anyway, she stars in that, and let's see, Perez Hilton's having a birthday today, 37. Jean-Claude Van Damme and his wife Gladys Portuguese have split up. Oh. It's the 5th divorce for Van Damme, and for her, their 2nd divorce. And then, Jessica Paré, she stars in Mad Men. She's with John Hamm, always as the girlfriend or wife or whatever. And she and her boyfriend, John Kastner, the musician, had the birth of their little baby, Blues Anthony Paré. Is that the name of the kid, Blues Anthony?
I can't imagine that to be the case, but it's possible.
You look around the house and say, who's got the blues? I got them. Okay, just thought you like that one, don't you, Tomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, next like child that for you, Tomas. Name him Blues. Who's got the blues?
I do.
What do you mean you got the blues?
The kid's name is Blues, Blues. Snoop Dogg is going to HBO, got an original drama series. He's got the drama bug. He was on Empire on the season finale. You know, everybody wants to be on that show. And they did about 10 episodes. They're going to come back in the fall. And he's partnered with HBO to develop a family drama for the network. And it's not titled yet. It's untitled. It'll be set in the 80s and center around a Los Angeles family whose seemingly idealistic life is turned upside down by the collision of their community and American politics. Maggie Lawson from Psych and Jane Lynch, she was in Glee, are going to star in a new comedy pilot, and it's going to be called Angel from Hell. Oh my. So we'll have to see what that's all about. Jerry Springer's producer has been charged with murder, and it was apparently part of some kind of suicide pact. Police believing that Jill Blackstone, the TV producer, was charged with murder this week, and the death of her sister, Wendy Blackstone, was part of a suicide pact with her sister, and she blacked out at the last minute. According to TMZ, police say that Jill, who has worked as a producer on shows like Jerry Springer and Rosie, bought a lit barbecue into the garage of their home that she shared with her sister last Saturday with the intention that they and their 2 dogs would die of carbon monoxide poisoning. Come on, people. Think about this here before you do some crazy stuff like that. That's nuts. Anyway, apparently Jill had a change of heart and called a friend to dial 911. And that's the latest in that right now. Harrison Ford.
She had a change of heart after everybody else
was dead.
After everybody else perished.
That's probably what the case will say. Harrison Ford, you know, he recently crashed in a plane. His vintage plane on a Los Angeles golf course is returning to the skies, at least with his voice. National Geographic Studios have announced that Harrison Ford will narrate a documentary being released next month called Living in the Age of Airplanes. And so it was a giant screen film that was shot from the air over 18 countries, giving a history of aviation. Mariah Carey and Courtney Love, they were at a dinner table together. Mariah Carey and Courtney Love in a Brett Ratner production. The director broke bread with Mariah and Courtney over the weekend at Craig's in West Hollywood. Have you been there to Craig's?
Don't think so. I haven't heard of it.
I've been to his list, but I haven't been to Craig's. And, they must have talked they chatted about Courtney. She was on Empire. She made an appearance there. And we'll see if they're going to be getting together with a series or not. Now, here, for you women out there, probably upset about this because country megastar Jason Aldean and the former American Idol contestant Brittany Kerr got hitched up this last Saturday in Mexico. You suppose they were tossing tequilas back or something? Was it just the tequila talking? They tied the knot in front of the Duck Dynasty star Willie Robertson and other close friends. This is according to Us Weekly. And the romance began, I guess, very publicly back in 2012 when Aldean and Kerr were making out at the Den, the bar, the Den, the club on Sunset Strip, and everybody could see it. Tomas, you were there that night, weren't you? Maybe not.
Not exactly the Palomino.
Jason Aldean was married with kids, passed it off as a drunken mistake, but apparently turned into real love because they've been inseparable ever since. Aldean called the wedding the best day ever, according to the magazine. So did she break up the marriage then, I guess? Whew. I don't know. Some of these people that are on American Idol, I'd stay away from them. They're all the same thing. They just scream at the top of their lungs. I mean, I like Carrie Underwood, but I mean, every song is the same. Turn up the volume and just scream at me instead of, ups and downs and lows. Am I right, Tomas? You like a range in the voice and everything. And not that I love Carrie, but, do something different.
I certainly agree with you. Jennifer Hudson was on Empire, and she did a couple things.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift was never on American Idol, and she's got a range. She started singing when she was, 15? She is one step ahead of the porn peddlers. They want to use her name to hawk their wares, and she snatched up the domain name TaylorSwift.porn and TaylorSwift.adult. Now, this move came about because a couple of months before domain names with .porn and .sucks became available to the public, Taylor's not the only one who has scooped up the domain names. Have we done that here yet?
I
get on that right away?
What, CRN.sex?
Sucks.
Oh, excuse me.
Or .porn. That's out there. I mean, is it crazy? The Internet's going nuts.
I don't think that's going to take off.
It is,
So to say.
Why do you have to be so mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Taylor Swift. I'm sorry. Okay. just to show you I'm a little, into the country thing there. I got some of these things.
Didn't they used to call you Country Mike?
Yeah, I used to be known as Country Mike back in the day. Was one of my first DJs. I was Country Mike at the 1500 Club at K Barbecue, the country cooker. We had the Front 40 survey, and then later expanded to the Sizzlin' 60. And we had the country calendar, and Glenn Campbell was playing the music on there. We probably have some of these jingles around here that we should find. I had jingles of myself, and I was pretty big at, I did the overnight show after the weekends. I started doing weekends and quickly was moved to the overnight show where nobody could hear me. And then later went to K-Fox, Constant Country K-Fox, Country Mike Horn. And I thought I was in trouble with the PD when he just came in and he says, "Why are you always talking about country corn?" I said, "No, I'm saying Country Mike Horn." So I learned to enunciate quickly after that so I could keep my job. Mm-hmm. And we had the Country Mike fan club there. It used to be in the 12th floor of the International Tower, and I'd make people stand in the parking lot down below and pull things up because I didn't want them coming into the station. It was going to be creepy.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We're Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com.
Hi, here's your delivery from Staples.com.
Thanks, Staples guy. Ugh, do you have stuff to clean this disaster of a break room?
Sure, Staples has wipes, paper towels, sprays, sponges, all at a low price.
How about these floors?
Disinfectant cleaners, mops, bucket with side press ringers, and yellow wet floor signs.
Anyone know how long it takes to reheat cod?
We also have air fresheners.
I'll take a case of those.
Make on budget happen, make cleaning up happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get Scott 12-pack paper towels for just $7.99.
Offer valid on SKU 300469 in store and online. It's $3.28 while supplies last. See store staples.com for details.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. But with the PMI Advantage from Quicken Loans, you may never have to pay those expensive monthly mortgage insurance premiums again. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I'm excited to tell you that the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. Make the smart call and talk to one of our home loan experts today at 800-QUICKEN. You'll learn how the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed law 50 states and MLS number 3030.
It's the PM show. Michael Horn, Paul Stern. Or Paul Stern, Michael Horn, PM. PM show here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. So this morning on the What's Cooking show that Paul, you and I do together, we were talking about Floyd Mayweather has got this chef that is being paid $1,000 a day to be there 24 hours a day to cook things to get him in shape for this fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao. And apparently now Manny Pacquiao, he's successfully stacked the deck now. He is hooked up with his brother in Christ, Tim Tebow, at Manny's training center in Los Angeles. And he did it this last weekend, hanging out with the former Heisman Trophy winner. And it doesn't appear if Tim worked out, but it seems that they hung out and talked about their common interests. So, maybe Floyd Mayweather is going to be a little too heavy after eating all this food. Because that chef, you want to get your $1,000 worth of this. You're paying $1,000 a day. You want to probably eat at least 3 squares and a few snacks in between, don't you?
Definitely.
Get some chips and nuts in there and everything. I'll see Floyd come waddling out. Anyway, Jean-Claude Van Damme, his divorce. His wife is struck back now. Gladys, his Jean-Claude's wife, filed the divorce this last week in Los Angeles, citing irreconcilable differences, as they usually do. Pulled the plug on their 15-year marriage. That's like a few years. According to the documents, they separated on March 7th. They have 2 adult children, Gene and Gladys, who was a bodybuilder. They were married once, or I should say John and Gladys, who she was the bodybuilder, he was a bodybuilder. They were married once before from 87 to 92. And this time around, she is asking for spousal support, and she's also ditching his last name. Which his real last name, are you familiar with this? His name is Van Varenberg. It's not Van Damme, it's Van Varenberg, one of the Varenberg families. Did they make a movie, The Sound of Music, about the Van Varenberg family?
I believe they did. I believe that's what it was about.
I do think so. The famous Van Varenberg family. And I didn't realize that Jean-Claude was part of that Van Varenberg family. Anyway, Gene is an old pro. I keep saying Gene. Jean-Claude is an old pro. It's his 5th divorce.
Wow.
So, in the first for Gladys, there to give you a little more information on that. Anyway, Jennifer Lawrence is leaving the X-Men, they think. Possibly. This could be it. The idea of anyone else playing Mystique may be strange for you, but the Hunger Games star was asked if her performance is she's a shapeshifter, kind of the mutant shapeshifter like they used to have in one of the Star Trek series. She's going to be in the upcoming sequel, Apocalypse would be her last, and she said, "It is my last one, yes." So there you have it. Are they going to keep the character? Will somebody come back? They're thinking Rebecca Romijn may come back in that role. That would be good. I like Rebecca Romijn. She was married to John Stamos for a while. I forget who she's married to now. Anyway, Vin Diesel has named his newborn daughter after Paul Walker. And I think there's one of those new movies coming out, like Fast Furious 7 or something. I saw a screen. Furious 7, is that what it is?
Yes.
Coming out. Anyway, Vin Diesel announced the birth of his 3rd child with his girlfriend Paloma Jimenez. They were completely clueless on the little one's name until now. He revealed on the Today Show today that his newborn daughter would be named Pauline in honor of Paul Walker. So, kind of nice, I think, that they do that. I don't know if you saw the news today, but Ted Cruz has become the first official 2016 presidential candidate, and he did it with a tweet, which is amazing. You would think the Republicans, sometimes people think they're a little archaic, they wouldn't know what's going on. But apparently, Ted Cruz doing it with a tweet went, and then everybody knew that he was running for president. Apparently, he was confused as to exactly what a tweet was there. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Remember that guy the last time around that made his announcement on with Jared Leto?
Yeah, it's Fred, what's his name?
Thompson.
Was on that show, Allegiance, and he's now known as Fred Dalton Thompson. Is he trying to, people don't know who he is? Because he's gotten a little older and a little slower in his speech. Well, I'm talking about now, I'm the head of the FBI. And I'm thinking, who is that guy? It looks like an old Fred Thompson. And I was right. I had to spin back to the beginning of the show, and it kind of went by me. Because, they put the credits up now while guys are having the haircuts and stuff, and you're watching the show and you don't see who stars in it. Because they just flash them up on the screen real quick and you miss it. And so I think it's Fred Dalton Thompson.
People were very excited about Fred Thompson the last go-round.
Well, yeah, he announced it on Jay Leno's show. That was kind of exciting. But this is the first presidential candidate. Even Hillary hasn't announced yet.
I think now, doesn't he now do those commercials for reverse mortgages?
Yeah, he does. He does reverse mortgage commercials. And who knows, maybe Barack Obama will figure out some kind of executive order to run again. He could do it if you're not careful. He could come out with something and make a new executive order that you can run 3 terms as president. Donald Trump, they say, may be thinking about running for president. I think that would be exciting. Because just get ticked off. You're fired.
Doesn't he kind of make this announcement like every time there's an election?
Yeah, but I hope he does it this time. I think it'd be exciting.
Has he ever actually run for president? Has he actually ever done it?
No, but I would vote for him now. I don't care what, just go for it. He'd have lawsuits going on. He'd sue people.
Didn't he have some problem with that comedian? What was her name?
He would own the country.
What was the name?
Lisa Lampley or something?
No, from Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, yeah, he didn't like Rosie. As I recall, he didn't like what she was saying. Donald Trump has an opinion about everything. So, but the first official Twitter announced candidate is Ted Cruz, so congratulations to him. And remember when Justin Bieber egged his neighbor's house and paid $80,000 in damages?
I do remember that.
Well, apparently the victim, Jeff Schwartz, wants more money now, and he's told Bieber's people to pay him $1 million to get prepared to go to court because he thinks the incident has tarnished his good name.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Many older people think they can't compete in the job market, but that's not true. Career expert Peter Studner says, tune up your skills. Make a list of everyone you know.
Start off with your church or your synagogue or your temple, parents association. You ask your grandkids, everybody you know. And the more people you meet, the more opportunities you'll run into.
Networking doesn't mean you ask for a job.
Tell people of your availability. That's much nicer, much easier. When someone says, how can I help you? What you would say is, here's a list of companies I'm really interested in meeting people inside. I'm not going to be asking for a job, but I would like to meet them. Do you know anybody in these companies you might introduce me to? The more people you know, the more people that will direct you into places that you couldn't get into before.
Soon you'll be talking to insiders and handing out your resume. Peter Studner's book is Super Job Search 4. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Welcome back to the PM show. I'm Michael Horn with Paul Stern at CRN. So anyway, so this Justin Bieber went ahead and he egged that victim, Jeff Schwartz. And Jeff Schwartz was paid $80,000 in damages, but now he wants more money. You think he's a lawyer, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think Bieber wants to mess with Schwartz.
You think Schwartz is a lawyer? He has told Bieber's people that he wants $1 million or get prepared to go to court because he thinks the incident has tarnished his good name. Now, apparently, he's not a lawyer. He works in car sales media software. And it said now they don't call him Jeff Schwartz anymore. He's just known as the guy Justin Bieber egged and spat on.
There to go. No, you don't want to tarnish. This is kind of goes out a warning to anybody that's certainly if you're. I mean, I hate to even say this, but if you're in a position where like people can like on the radio or
like you're a celebrity or something,
and if you talk
like that time Robert Conrad rolled over that officer. I just made that up. It didn't really happen. He turned the Brody knob the right way. You know, Conrad he used to drive that big Escalade, and he had the old Brody knob on it so he could spin out on a dime. He was pretty good with that thing, you know. Yeah, the Brody knob, for those who don't know, is like this knob on your steering wheel so you can really spin the wheel.
They call it doing donuts. That's what the kids like to say.
Yeah, do a donut. You could do a churro. You could do whatever you want.
He was doing donuts at the parking lot after last week's show.
I did a couple of apple fritters. But that's a whole other story. I was bloated all weekend. Two of them apple fritters.
No, like I said, you shouldn't talk poorly about people on the air because it's a very litigious society.
It is.
And you open up your mouth and you say something bad about somebody. Next thing you know, you got Schwartz on your tail.
So apparently Schwartz, who Paul thinks is a lawyer, says that the $1 million will go to help him out with for verbally abusing his wife and daughter.
There to go. A little egging turned into now $1 million lawsuit.
Now, 6 years after this guy brutally beat up Rihanna, Chris Brown is off the hook, legally at least. The judges lifted the 25-year-old Chris Brown's probation last Friday and closed the assault case stemming from the 2009 Grammy attack on his girlfriend, Rihanna, at the time. And he had probation after all this time. Now, wasn't she with Matt Kemp of the Dodgers, now the San Diego Padres? And didn't Kemp's career go down?
She caused him to go into a slump.
And then is she hanging out with that guy from the Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons? Did I see that on TV? Is there something going on there?
I don't know, but that guy Chris Brown, I don't like that guy.
You don't like him?
No.
Careful now. You don't want to say things that get you into trouble.
No, he appeared on the Larry King program. I still remembered it to this day. He appeared on the Larry King show with his attorney, Mark Garagos. And I'm not particularly fond of him either, but he was wearing like this Mr. Rogers sweater that I knew. This guy must have put on that Mr. Rogers sweater like it was like the first time he's ever put on a sweater.
Didn't Mark Garagos have a peninsula named after him?
Actually, an island. Garagos Island.
Is that what it was? The Mark? I think it was the Mark Islands. You're right. I think it was.
He had a bow tie on, the Chris Brown.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris Brown tweeted out, he says, I'm off probation, so.
Didn't the guy get into a fight not too long ago?
Oh, yeah, he's in trouble.
He's a jerk.
And here's a horrible thing. At the Westmoreland Mall in Pennsylvania, where it's been cold all winter long, they accidentally hired a guy to play the Easter Bunny at the Cherry Hill Photo, but when they did a little background check, finally, he was registered as a sex offender.
Oh.
So this guy, Michael Jacobs, was convicted of having sex with a minor, and so apparently he's not going to be even though they got the costume fitted for him, not going to be the Easter Bunny, which is probably very smart on the part of the Westmoreland Mall.
It could have been worse.
What's that?
He could have been Santa Claus.
All right, we got to get out of here. That's our show. Thanks to Courtney Kadar for producing this thing. Thank you, Tomas, for pressing the buttons. Thank you, Paul Stern, for being here as always. And thank you all for listening. If you missed anything, go to our website, crntalk.com, crntalk.com. Download the cell phone app, CRN Digital Talk. I'm Michael Horn. Have a good night.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio shows